Depending on what you're looking for, you might enjoy the Walt Disney Comedy and Magic Revue. However, if I had bought this, or I guess received it as a VHS as a child, I would have been sorely disappointed. This was released in 1985, and it's basically a compilation of clips of various Disney films. Watching this now, as a die-hard Disney fan, it is quite fun to see all of these different Disney films, cartoons, all of these different Disney characters packaged together like this. But it is literally just a 30-minute advert. We do have voiceover narration giving us little bits of information about what we're looking at to try and big up the clips to make the viewer excited to want to see the full thing. And these kinds of things are pretty standard. At the beginning of a Disney VHS, we'll have a clip or a couple of clips of other Disney films that are available with a little bit of a voiceover to try and make things even more exciting, but they usually last a minute or two. This is 30 minutes of just that. And watching it now, I quite enjoyed it because, as I said, it was quite fun to see all of these Disney clips together. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to the order of the clips. I couldn't find any kind of real structure. It's certainly not chronological. But if anybody can identify any kind of logic to the order, please do let me know. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. I would have preferred it if they were chronological, but at the same time, because there is just so much going on and we're getting clips thrown at us left, right, and centre, it's kind of chaotic anyway, and I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. But it would have been nice to see a bit of progression in, for example, the animation style, but I don't mind that too much. Do I recommend it? And I will give examples in a moment of some of the clips that are in it, but I won't just now in case you don't want to know. I didn't know what clips would feature going into it, and that for me was part of the fun of wondering what clips they'll feature next. But I will in a second, with a spoiler warning, give some examples. But do I recommend it? Yes, if you're a Disney fan and you're looking for a fun way to enjoy a whole batch of different Disney clips. Most of them are a pretty standard length of a couple of seconds each, really, maybe up to 30 seconds. I didn't count the time or anything, but they're not too long, they're not too short. Some do play on for longer than the others, but in general, each one has a pretty average screen time. So I think that worked well. Everything was edited together really nicely. It does just feel like a really sly way to earn some money, because it sounds like, based on the title, that it's going to be this beautifully presented package of Disney clips, maybe with a host introducing the clips, and I know we have a bit of a voiceover, but it's not quite the same thing, and making it this whole experience. But it's not. It is just a 30-minute ad for other Disney films, and I guess the point is that somebody, maybe a child, maybe not, will watch this, and a particular clip will capture their attention, and then they'll then want to see the full film. Granted, I'm just explaining how adverts work, but I feel like that's what they were intending with this. But had I received this as a child, I would have been tremendously disappointed. At least I think I would have been, because there's not obviously a narrative, there's not a story, and the clips themselves are too short to be able to fully understand what's happening in them, so there's no real connection with them. I feel like unless you've seen these films, there's not going to be any real joy in it. Maybe it'll encourage you to watch something you've not seen if there is a clip in this from a film that you're not familiar with, but for me, the joy was seeing these snapshots of films that I've seen and loved, and I don't know if I would have enjoyed it if I was not a Disney fan. I don't think it would inspire me to watch any of these clips, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it will inspire some people. I don't know. But either way, I enjoyed it watching it now as a Disney fan, as a fun way to explore a lot of Disney films over a short space of time. Had I paid for this VHS as a child or was given it as a gift as a child, I would have been disappointed. So I'd love to know what you think of it if you watch it now, but I'd also love to know if you did have the VHS. Did you enjoy it? Part of me thinks maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I would have enjoyed it, but I don't know. Who can tell? I'd love to know if you did have this VHS though growing up and what you thought of it. And I will now mention some of the clips that feature in this. I will say we have a good mix of live action and animation that works well. For example, we have some clips from Son of Flubber, and we have Escape to Witch Mountain, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Mary Poppins. These are all films that I've seen, I've loved. Mary Poppins, of course. I say, of course, Mary Poppins is a personal favourite. We then have quite a lot of animation. We have Dumbo, and we have Mickey Mouse, and other Sensational Six cartoons. We have clips from Robin Hood and Pinocchio and many, many others. So obviously the clip selection is satisfying. I do think the clip selection was very good. Everything was edited together really well. I just think the biggest issue is that it seems like when you call something a review, it seems like you're going to get a nicely packaged array of clips presented as an evening of entertainment. But it's not, it's just a 30-minute advert. But if you're a Disney fan, I think you might still enjoy it. The Walt Disney Comedy and Magic Revue is not something that I think would have been worth the money had I spent my pocket money on it on a VHS back in the day. But watching it now, I thought it was pretty fun.